it seems like there's always something going on with Rishi Sunak. Is that unfair to say?
I don't think it's unfair to say at all. I mean, he's been Prime Minister for 6 months now, and even before then, we saw various scandals going on. But I think it's important to try to sort of revisit those original words which he promised on the steps of Downing Street almost 6 months to the day in October when he became Prime Minister, where he promised that his government would deliver on integrity, professionalism, and accountability. Now, I think this specific investigation, which is looking into his personal potential non-disclosure of financial interests, certainly doesn't play very well to that. I think, the story ultimately cuts to the heart of Rishi Sunak's family's wealth, which I think everyone knows is very vast. And he's probably the wealthiest prime minister in history. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And I think that, Sunak's family investment portfolios is likely to be quite wide. And it's quite difficult, to see that not impacted some way by government policy. But I think, the real issue with this investigation is the fact that it relates to non-disclosure of financial interests that relate to a direct policy that Sunak announced. Now, I think, when you have a situation of potential non-disclosure, that really creates the potential perception that there's something more sinister going on here. The idea that he potentially may have been sort of abusing state power given to him to govern for sort of personal financial benefit. Now, when you put that in the context of sort of multiple scandals that he's had, as you alluded to, he had the issue of holding onto his US green card, we had the issue of the non-domicile status of his wife, then I think you have the potential for an image problem, which certainly the kind of opposition Labour Party in the UK will likely seize on. But I think there's sort of a wider issue going on here as well, which is really relates to the kind of UK political system, which is quite vulnerable, I think, to abuse, because to some degree it's sort of self-regulatory. It requires politicians to sort of check their own homework in a sense, certainly compared to other countries which have more independent processes for this sort of thing. Now, the ministerial code, which governs UK ministerial interests, requires all ministers to disclose their financial interests, but that actually hasn't been updated or published in almost a year. So clearly this is not just an issue related to Sunak, but I think the fact that obviously he is the government figurehead, really is quite symbolic for his government, and I think will cause him major problems, particularly as he tries to sort of present his prime minister or his premiership in quite a different way to Boris Johnson's era and try to renew his party.